So I need to get a... Oh, God. Why are you investigating? Can I get a sneak attack like that? That is the dumbest... Can I target you? Can we play the game? Oh, we're not playing the game. I can't look at him because he's behind a wall. Bro, they are spamming moves. Oh shit, we're in trouble now. If the title of this video offends you, go ahead and waste $60 to $80. You don't care about facts or objective reality, you're just here to be toxic. Now, if you're watching this video because you want to learn about Pokémon Legends ZA, all of your preconceived notions about this game are completely wrong. This is not an action game. There is no difficulty in this game. And if you think Pokémon Legends is a series for an older, less casual audience, you are completely wrong. This is the most babied, dumbed down, on a rail, anti-game, interactive movie out there. It's like the worst Pokemon game ever made, and after my experience with this game, it is the worst game I have ever gone through and committed to playing. Now, the Pokemon community only knows hate, negativity, and derangement, so this video is going to get brigaded into oblivion to destroy it in the YouTube algorithm, which is why I ask for your support. Please leave a like on this video, comment your thoughts down below based on what you're seeing here or your experience with the game, and share it with everyone everywhere because that really helps on the reach. And if I save you any money, if you're like, wow, I was going to buy this, but I realize it's like an objective piece of crap, maybe leave a super comment. Give me $5-10 instead of wasting 60 to 80. Now, where to begin with this game, because there is not one defensible thing about it. To spoil the review, 0 out of 10. Okay, 1 out of 10. And actually, most of the game's problems are apparent in the very beginning of the game. But don't get this confused. Area 1 is not the tutorial. It is the prelude to barely learning about maybe what the tutorial of this game is going to be. It is atrocious how this game operates. You take 5 steps, cutscene. You take 5 steps, cutscene. This game has tutorials for tutorials. You have to learn everything twice. You're never allowed, you're never given any credit as a human to just learn something. That you have to be instructed to do it multiple times until the game maybe kind of trusts you to get an idea of what's going on. And everything in this game is meant to waste your time. Again, like the backtrack, it's like you have to do a cutscene, and then you do the same cutscene, and you take 5 steps, and that's going to be another cutscene. You go into the first area of the game, and then you realize, oh, catching mechanics are bad. The controls are fumbly and clunky, which is also something I really disliked about Pokemon Legends Arceus, that the catching just didn't work, and also the way that Pokemon behave, that some of them are neutral, some of them are aggressive, and then you have a more difficult time catching them, or some of them are skittish and they completely just run away from you, makes it really just frustrating. The game is pure frustration. You can't just run out, battle, and catch Pokemon. Something is going to go wrong because the game is not made to function. It's not even difficulty. The game gives artificial difficulty through frustration, artificial game padding through wasting your time deliberately. And the game is even aware of its frustration. If you've ever played a game and there's a difficult parkour section, then a random enemy at the top just called stumbles and he knocks you off, or a goat at the top of the mountain called the Mountain King who's just meant to ram you back down the mountain and waste all of your time, that's this Pichu in the starting area. Because if you complete, if you catch all the Pokemon in the area, you get bonus research points, and guess what? One of the fueling things of this game is Pokemon Legends Arceus, catching a Pokemon just once isn't enough. You have to do meaningless, repetitive research tasks to artificially pad out this game, and the joke is you actually don't even have to do them. It's the most fake of incentives. The entire game is a facade of nothing. But when it comes to this Pichu, it's incredibly skittish. So, you crouch and then you hide in the grass, and then you can use that to get a first strike on the attack. Well, it just shows how nothing in the game systems function. So I call out my Pokemon. Well, my Pokemon is tethered to me. So I made multiple videos going off of the official trailer footage and also early gameplay and stuff on how the battles just look broken and bad because your Pokemon don't dodge. You don't take control of your Pokemon. You have to call your Pokemon, they run to an area, which also just creates a ton of terrible, broken interactions. I don't even have to, like, sneak up on him. No. Venipede sees me, but... Oh, wait, what? 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 The what? My attack was charging, and somehow I got caught off guard? And it removes the entire flow of the battle because everything is just a hard pause that locks you out of animations. And there's no buffering, there's no animation canceling, that once you commit to an action, you're locked into that action. The wind up, the action itself, the cooldown, and it just breaks everything, while there's also a lot of chaos. The opposing Pokemon, the AI, it's flawless. So you're just getting hammered the entire time, but you're not allowed to press buttons. You're just locked out from playing the game half the time you're in the battle. I haven't even I'm not even at the Pikachu yet. But what makes this battle system completely unforgivable is that your Pokemon are chained to you. So they always, like, run back to your side, or if you're trying to dodge a move, you as a trainer have to run, and then your Pokemon is supposed to, like, walk out of the move. Like, there's no dodge for your Pokemon. So your Pokemon, like, walks with you, and then maybe you dodge an attack with that. But when you throw a Pokemon out into the wild, it does the same thing, where it, like, glitches around, and then, like, tries to link to you. Well, with this Pichu, your Pokemon walks in front of you. Yeah, so, like, the spotted thing. Are you So, my Pokemon that I have no control over runs out of the grass and scares off what I'm trying to catch. Am I playing this game correctly? If I water gun it and then throw... I'm locked on! And as it runs away, my Pokeball misses! And then, because everything else in this area has taught you, like, oh, trying to throw a Pokeball at a full health Pokemon is a wasted endeavor. Like, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to engage with the battle mechanics in some kind of way. Except for this Pichu. So, like, everything about the game breaks. There is nothing consistent. There is nothing stable. There is nothing rational about this game. So it's like, oh, I have to hide in the bush. I don't weaken this wild Pokemon. I don't summon my Pokemon to do anything about it. I just throw the Pokemon from the bush and maybe I catch it. And if I don't, it runs away and then I just have to reset the entire thing. So I can parkour up a slope that's taller than me, but I can't get on a box. So I have to... Can I just fall? Okay. And Rotom saves me anyway. What's the point of going down a ladder? Who designed the city? Oh my... Oh my god. It's just a wall that has no concern for the other textures and buildings. And it's just a hole. This ladder was put in by a developer just to put you in a hole. It's very hard to convey with words. Like, you actually have to play this game hands-on to understand how non-functioning it is. My entire thing about this guide is that the game is not worth any money. This isn't Steam. You don't get to play it for an hour and then realize it's not worth it and get your refund under the 2 hours. Also, there's, like, no downloadable demo. If there was, this game would have no sales. Everyone realizes it's an unplayable, clunky mess, and they can't even get the first hour of gameplay right. They can't get the first hour of the game to actually function because the core systems are that broken, and Verlicify always right. I called this from the very beginning, just looking at the first couple of, like, gameplay trailers that we got. So, like, just know it doesn't. It doesn't work. It's always clunky. The Pokemon are moving around, the targeting doesn't work, and then we get to the controls where you have to target, and then your movement buttons change to attack buttons. So if you're not targeting on a Pokemon, but then you use your X attack, you just go into your menu. But it's like, wait, I pressed the Z ZL button, so I'm supposed to be targeting them, but there was nothing to target, and then I press X for a move because everything's chaotic. I'm getting hammered by moves. There's multiple wild Pokemon running around. I'm trying to play the game efficiently. Well, no, the game just has lockouts, and it also just doesn't work half the time. So I go into the menu. Or I try to do something, and then you have a dodge as a trainer, but your Pokemon doesn't follow you on your dodge. It's like, I try to use a move, I dodge instead. I try to do anything, and then it just doesn't work. And then once you're using moves, it's just button mashing. There's no strategy, there's no action. And that's like another thing about the combat where it's like, oh, this is an action game and it's so fun. You get to run around and stuff. Like, no, my entire playthrough was standing still. My entire playthrough was standing still using four, not physical moves, but like four attacking moves. No status moves. Status moves are a joke and a waste. Maybe competitive, but not even for the late game. Like, you don't need to do that. You just hit all of your cooldowns as they're up as fast as possible, and you stand still. And that's the game. Now, as you get deeper into the game, you might think, oh, it gets more complex, so we're going to learn about strategy and different kind of synergies and stuff. No, even that is fake about the game, and it's actually so broken. Like, the game tricked me for a brief moment into thinking it actually had, like, skill expression or some kind of strategy, because this Venipede laid down some spikes, and then it rolled out through the spikes, and then I was like, oh, dang. So, like, created a barrier and then attacked from the barrier. And then it dragged my Pokemon around. I just, like, kept walking into the spikes. But what it actually shows is how completely broken the game system is. Because when it throws down the spikes, well, if my Pokemon doesn't have any, like, ranged moves, I can't, like, attack through the spikes. Because that's the stupid thing about this game. All physical moves are melee. All special moves are ranged. And it creates so many broken interactions that it's like, there's so many layers of broken. Like, every single element and aspect of this game is broken that, like, it might seem like I'm jumping back and forth in my review. That's because it's impossible to get the totality of how non-functioning this game is. So remember, your Pokemon are tethered to you. So if you're hanging back in a fight, that means, like, oh, I'm using a melee attack. So my Pokemon runs up to use a melee attack, and then it runs back to me to reset. And if you're using special moves, it also has, like, some other weird interactions as well. But if I'm melee, if I'm standing right next to the opposing Pokemon and they use a dash move or they run around, well, then I drop camera and then I drop moves because, again, you can only select moves when you are targeted onto an opposing Pokemon. So if the camera breaks or if that target goes out of your line of sight, you are unable to use moves. And then you have to refine them, retarget them, and then press the move button again. So you kind of need to stay back at range so everything's in your field of view. But if it isn't, then you can't do melee moves. And then it's just if you do melee move, then you get pulled out. So going back to this Venipede fight, it set up the spikes. So I only had melee moves, which means I'm forced to run through the spikes and damage myself to hit it. Well, it used also rollout. And again, they don't have really cooldowns either. So they go spikes rollout. So as I'm chasing it to hit it, it uses rollout to roll through the spikes. So then my idiot of a Pokemon has to run back through the spikes to catch it on the rollout. Now, when rollout finishes, your Pokemon back to you. So it then snaps at the end of the rollout animation back through the spikes to cuddle its trainer because that is the only way this game is programmed to function on the battle. So, like, it was one of the things where I thought I got tricked, where it's like, oh, spikes, and then it rolled out through the spikes, and then that kind of baited me into hitting it. Yo, that's clever. No, the game is actually just that broken, where I'm leashed to it. So my Pokemon Melee. My Pokemon Melee leaves me, runs through the spikes, has to run back through me, run into the rollout. The rollout snaps back because the Pokemon doesn't, like, walk or fight at range or anything. And then it just became a cluster. It was a complete mess of nonsense. Just showing a little bit of how non-functioning the battles are. And then at the end of the day, again, I realized, like, I used my free will to realize that it's all an illusion and there's no action elements. So I did just kind of, like, sit next to the opposing trainer and just wail on melee moves and hope it stayed in place as the best way to play this game. It's actually less turn-based than the turn-based main series Pokemon games. As for difficulty, there's none. I did no extra catching or training of Pokemon outside of Area 1. I didn't, like, seek out an excess of trainers to get experience. I didn't do side missions to get experience candies. I just blitzed the game as fast as possible while ignoring everything about the game, and I was just overleveled and automatically winning everything. So the gameplay loop is supposed to be you use daytime to catch Pokemon, train Pokemon, get resources, and then that means you can battle better at nighttime for the ZA Royale. Also, you sit on a bench like some kind of NPC drone, and then you just stare into the abyss until it's nighttime. And then when it's nighttime, that's when the ZA Royale starts. That's when you do your 5 battles, you get your promotion match, and then you rinse and repeat all the way from Z to A. Nope, because the entire game is a lie. The ZA Royale is not a core part of the game and a core part of your progression, that you have to do stupid side missions and side story quests and like a completely unrelated thing. It's pretty much, the way I can describe it is it's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with 3 times the amount of challenges and no freedom of choice between them. It's like if you have to do gym battle and then a Titan Pokemon and then a Team Star battle, and you just do that on loop forever, but each thing takes 3 times as long. That is actually the secret gameplay loop of this game. It gets very tedious really quick. It gets very uninspired really quick. It has no value whatsoever. And what happened was there was actually a jump in the promotion. So Vinny's my favorite character. But also there's another guy that's really, like, actually there's a couple of really good characters in this game that makes me upset. It's like, should have been Z version. These should have been like gym leaders. These should have been like memorable, really cool Pokemon characters. Instead, they're just forgotten side characters that will never exist outside of ZA in any meaningful way. So I was already so beaten down by, I think, rank V on my quest to rank A, that when Vinny said, well, if you beat me, you get rank F, I actually got delirious. Oh. Oh. Oh my god! I've never been happier in my life! To get to that point, half of it was cutscenes. Like, if you go fast text, mash through A, don't even read a thing, an hour of your first 4 hours of the game is just text and cutscenes and nonsense. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. New record! And then you realize how fraudulent the entire gameplay loop is. Because once you hit rank F, that's kind of like the game beginning. Because your promotion matches are kind of like proxy gym battles, and they have main characters. If you watch any of the trailers, we have Corbeau. So it's like, oh, this is going to be the leader of a group, and then you beat them for the promotion match, and that's kind of your gym leader. Or that's kind of your gym fight. But that means there's also kind of a tutorial for your first proxy gym challenge and your first, like, real promotion once you hit F. So it's actually, the game isn't Z to A. The game is F to A. And once again, it's just padded out nothing. It's nonsense. It is all text and deliberately wasting your time, because this game respects your time less than any other game I have ever played, which is why I'm just like, this is just the worst, even the worst Pokemon game I played, the worst game I have ever played. So what happened was, there was a lock, and you have to go through 4 dialogue options that don't do anything. It's like, oh, maybe there's a weakness in this lock. So you go through it all, and it's like, nope, there's nothing you can do. Which, as someone experienced a Pokemon, my brain went, yo, we get to catch Klefki down here and then we unlock it. The game immediately takes away the puzzle or any satisfaction of discovery by saying, hey, look, a Klefki, we need to catch it. But then you catch the Klefki and it doesn't open the lock. Ha 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 ha. Oh, come on. They ruined the, bro, like, they ruined the moment. Why? Bro, this fucking hand-holding piece of shit bullshit, dude. I saw that lock and I went, I just need to catch a Klefki. And instead, the game just decided, no, we're going to give you the answer instead of letting you discover it for yourself. Klefki is one of my favorite Pokemon. I fucking love Klefki. I don't understand how people can't like that Pokemon. Oh, and there it is anyways. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that that was just completely unnecessary. You still have to do the ZA Royale. So you do the ZA Royale, you get your promotion ticket, but you don't just get to go to the promotion match, you have to do the Proxy Gym Challenge. And for this one, it's a quiz. Now, Naveen is a fangirl of the person that we have to challenge, and then we do the quiz, so like, oh, we're getting it in our ear, like, hey, I'll just give you all the answers because I'm the ultimate fan, and then you can pass the quiz and then do the battle. Except we're not given the answers. Naveen just says, yeah, wing it, and if you're wrong, I'll correct you. So, like, already fake right there, and then it's yes and no. So I have to do 3 yes and no, just randomly, yes, no, back and forth, none of that matters. After that, we have to fast travel to a cafe, none of that matters. We get the item that we need, we go back, and then we do it. And then after that, we just battle. So even though we just did over 10 battles for the ZA Royale, we now have another battle that's just in there to waste our time for no reason. Actually, I think we also had to battle Naveen to get there. So like, we do the ZA challenge, we battle Naveen, we do the proxy gym challenge, which is actually like a longer, more unnecessary, more time wasting than any gym challenge has ever existed. So it's like a worse 3x padded gym challenge. And then we fight some nerd. So after all that, we finally earned our promotion match, right? Wrong. No, we have to fight the girl's father, who also has a Mega Pokemon, so you're thinking, wait, yeah, that would be it, where we do whatever challenge and fight whatever fodder, and then the person with the Mega is like our gym leader. But no, that's this game. For all of these promotion matches, you actually have to fight multiple people with Mega Pokemon, so like multiple gym level, just in the way people. And then you finally do the promotion match, and it's all fake, because that goes to another problem, which is also something in other Pokemon games. One thing I thought was strange about Pokemon X and Y is like, once you get Mega Evolution, game's over. You just Mega Lucario, one-shot whatever's in front of you. Mega Lucario, one-shot whatever in front of you. If you get another Mega Stone or whatever, it's like, yeah, that's kind of it. Same thing with Pokemon Sun and Moon. Once you get a Z Crystal, Z move, one-shot. Z move, one-shot. And a weird thing about Sun and Moon, it's like 90% of trainers just had one Pokemon. So it's like designed where someone gets in your way, you get paused, Z move, one-shot, move on. This game is no different. Even though there's Mega Energy, you start every major battle with full Mega Power. So like whatever you do, just immediately mash R3 and then just spam your moves until you win. So nothing matters. None of this is a thing. So you're thinking, all right, so we do ZA Royale and then promotion match, or like gym challenge and then promotion match. ZA Royale, gym challenge, promotion match. Nope, because we got the rogue Mega Pokemon. Now, what do you think is reasonable? That's like, okay, we do a rogue Mega Pokemon battle because it's like a Titan Pokemon. It's a big raid battle that is meant to just eat up several minutes of your time in just a fat hit point endurance test. It's 3. You have to do 3 rogue Mega Pokemon. And again, this is like still a part of the tutorial. It's like, oh, I do rogue Mega Pokemon, and I don't even remember, like, maybe it was rogue Mega Pokemon, then ZA Royale, and then the F rank up mission. I don't remember when they came in, but at some point they came in. So actually, the real gameplay loop is you do 3 drawn-out raid boss battles, and then you have to fight 20 people to get your promotion ticket. Getting the promotion ticket isn't enough because then one of your friends wants to battle you to prove themselves about something. Then you have to do a gym challenge, which is longer than any individual gym challenge. Then you have 3 other people battle you. Then you do the promotion match, and then you get a call from Vinny, 3 more rogue Mega Pokemon. So you only went from F to E, but then to go from E to D, that's 3 more rogue Mega Pokemon, that's 20 ZA battles, that's a side quest where you have to battle multiple people with Mega Pokemon until you finally make it to your promotion match, while also running through the sewers and wasting all of your time and all of this other stuff. And guess what? That's only E to D. So we still have to do D to C, C to B, and then B to A of this fake gameplay loop of nothing. And that's what I mean, where it's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, except you have no freedom, and it's all just 3 times. I remember like how stupid the dancing game was for the gym, the psychic gym leader, or whatever that was, where you just had to like sit there and just press buttons for a long time. It's all that times 3 to do one gym challenge, which is only 1 part compared to your Titan and then Team Star Run, which all those are also artificially longer as well. And you have no autonomy or freedom to decide which order or how you can approach it. That's just your rail. You are forced onto that treadmill, and you are just stuck there forever. And what about, like, the actual Mega Raid battles, like the Rogue Mega fights? Are they any good? No, because as talked about before, the buttons all conflict with each other. Your dash is also your Pokemon's move. So if you're trying to dash or roll out of an enemy Pokemon attacking you, because that's the Mega Pokemon. The Mega Pokemon also are random. Sometimes they hit your Pokemon. Most of the time, they're chasing after you, which means you are unable to attack them. How is this a creature collecting action game when your creature cannot take action for you? That I'm supposed to put out my dude, and you're just supposed to beat up on them while I'm trying to stay alive, but you can't do 2 things at once. So if I dodge roll, that's going to mean I have to take my finger off of ZL. Take a look at the right side of your controller. B is run, Y is dodge, X is menu. Now press ZL. and take a look at your controller. Oh, B is your attack, Y is your attack, X is your other attack. So you have to let off of the targeting, which is the only way your Pokemon attacks if you want to move your trainer. And you're getting targeted 90% of the time, so you have to move and then dodge and then not get KO'd as the trainer. And then if you try to lock back on, well, remember, now your Pokemon was following you. So as you're dodging the enemy attacks, your Pokemon is running with you. So now you have to run back in the fight, get them back in the fight, and then they're just going to bounce around, because that's the entire thing, where they turn around, but then you put in the attack command, and then they turn towards what they're supposed to be fighting, and then they use a melee move, and they run in, but then they also turn around and then run back next to you, because it's all, like, tightly leashed together. And then by the time you go through one attack or something, the big, scary Mega Pokemon is hitting you again, so you have to run away. So what that means is that your Pokemon is not a combatant, or like they're not able to use moves against the Mega Pokemon, but you're dragging them into the moves that are meant to hit you. Also, for some reason, I had no control. Like, there's no way to lose threat if the Mega Pokemon just decides to target you, because fuck you, and now Bro! I can't dodge as a trainer because my Absol runs through the poison! It's unplayable. It is just the worst game. And remember when I said, like, oh, hitting rank F is like halfway through the tutorial, even though you're hours deep into the game and probably like even halfway done with the game? You're halfway done with the game and you're barely out of the tutorial. Honestly, I'm not convinced that the tutorial is done until you've beaten the game. The entire game plays like a tutorial, because no matter what you do, you are still on a rail. You are still not allowed to move more than 8 steps without a cutscene happening of your own free will. And again, there's no open world, there's no freedom inside of it, and you're not allowed to explore or move or anything. And even after you've done multiple laps through all of this stuff, it's still story beat, story beat, story beat, forced into story, forced into cutscene, forced into pressing A 20 times to not even read anything because none of it matters and it's all fake. And then none of it's interesting, and then story, and then a battle. Because again, then it's like, oh, battles, but then we have ZA battles, but then we also have mega battles, but then we also have more battles again in our way. And then maybe we have our promotion match. We can't go through the promotion match without 10 cutscenes in between. Worst game I've ever played. And remember, I haven't caught any Pokemon. I've done nothing to train, and I just auto-win all of the battles and all of the challenges. Now, people are kind of making fun of the game because with the rogue Mega Pokemon, if you get KO'd, there's like checkpoints, so you can just kind of restart and you have most of the damage stick on the Mega Pokemon. I actually don't consider that a knock against the game, because the camera is broken. Again, like if the Pokemon moves out, you have to retarget them, and then everything looks ugly, and there's moves coming around and trying to manage everything, but it just doesn't function and none of your buttons work. So you're just going to get KO'd. Like, you're just going to lose sometimes. And I think it's really fair, instead of having to like go through pulling teeth of the whole Mega encounter that's there. Now, it could also be because, again, this is a no difficulty game for babies and children. This gameplay is younger and easier than anything the main series targets. I don't care if it has like a 10 plus rating. That's because the screen kind of looks like blood. I don't get it. Like, it's all fake. The rating, the E10 plus is fake to make idiots think that it's actually an older, more difficult, action-based, mature-ish kind of game, when it isn't that. We said that at the beginning of the video. It's all fake. It's all lies. And I think that's it. The gameplay loop doesn't work, none of the mechanics work, none of it makes sense, none of it's fun, none of it's Pokemon, and the story also just like kind of gets more and more stupid and makes less and less sense as you go along as well, despite being the Legends game. Worst Pokemon game, worst game ever. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.